Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your mid-August to mid-September reading. I was cold and I was actually using this and I was like, oh, it's cute. I'm just going to leave it. So, anyone who's putting forth the bait, anyone who's got you irate, anyone who's being super moody and wants you to engage, have you noticed something about them? They all have one thing in common. They all need to get their own life and be a lot more independent and worry about themselves instead of trying to make you the boss of them. For so many people around you right now, falling apart seems like the best way to get your attention. Now, you may want to take the bait, you may not. You may feel highly evolved, or you may feel petty. But they're using you. They're using you as fuel for their journey. But they're not really on a journey. They're using you. In fact, they're using you for a sort of destructive downward spiral where other people take responsibility for their moods, their actions, and even deal with the consequences of their actions for them. And maybe you've played that role in their lives for a long time. Maybe you've just woken up to the reality that your house seems to fall apart when others make you responsible for their feelings and their lives, and you no longer have the time, attention, or most importantly, energy to tend to yourself. Mars is in Gemini, and as it will move into Cancer and move into water, you will become even more sure that other people deserve to carry the weight of what they've done. You are so radically independent in this thought process and not at all the community-minded person that most of us think you are, know that you are, the person you usually are, let's say. That it's so disruptive, not just for them, but also for you. You embracing your independence from other people's moods, feelings. A lot of time it's like, I'm obsessed with you, be nice to me, kind of thing that people do with you. But I'm obsessed with you, Scorpio. You have to pay attention to me. All of that. It's very disruptive to not be a part of that game anymore. For you, for them. But you have this very strong backup energy. You know what's yours. You know what pain belongs to you. You know what betrayal belongs to you. You know what battles are yours to fight. People love to pick you as their strongest soldier for these battles that have nothing to do with you. And you oblige, because that's what it means to be a friend. That's what it means to be loyal. There's some scheming here. Some long-term scheming. Some ideological judgment. That Sagittarius energy. Scorpios can be so agitated by this detachment that Sagittarians have. It's so very oppositional to the Scorpio nature. to be detached enough to really deceive, really hurt, really go behind the back of. The more I look at this, the more that's all I see. Things happening behind your back, conversations happening behind your back. And I know that's something you're not supposed to say to Scorpios, but it's okay. Look, I'm not shuffling because the cards are just getting better and better. It's okay. There is something distant still. It's distant. It's something really good. It brings ease to your life. A person, an opportunity, a change of job, change of scenery. It's something that brings you aesthetic pleasure. Someone who makes you feel loved, included, understood. Someone who makes you feel something, an opportunity, an idea you follow through on that makes you feel like you're really living, you're really in things. This is a natural result of letting go of these 6 elements that we just looked at. You embracing yourself and essentially your feelings over the moods, the feelings, the fears, and the clinginess, taking responsibility for other people's clinginess towards you. It leads to diversions of focus and behavior that's directionless and not you at all. It's not cool enough, it's not ambitious enough, it's just not right. It's not the thing. But because you have looked so clearly through this retrograde at every single person in your life, you have been able to, with a really discerning eye, scan everybody without them knowing. There's no fighting here, there's no arguing, there's no drama. You've just used the retrograde properly, and you've been, silently scanning all the people in your life. And some people got pushed out, some people got exposed, some people exposed themselves, some people didn't even wait for the silent scan to start, they just started talking too much. But what we get to as we leave August into September into fall, is something meaningful, something financially lucrative, something meaningful, something adventurous, something fun, something loving, something that makes you feel good, important, useful, like you've done something. Something that makes you feel like you've done something. You come into the winter here with definite feelings of success and having overcome perhaps not just a financial situation or a romantic situation, but for a lot of you, this most recent battle and victory is quite symbolic. It is the battle you've had again and again, but you had it one more time, but this time you knew what moves each player was going to make before they made them. You've seen through the game. So even though you had to play the game again, that's okay because you know all the rules. But you also know what the other person is going to do before they do it. You figured out the age-old battle you've been having. You figured it out during this Mercury retrograde. You figured out how to beat both sides of this thing. So it doesn't really matter if you have to fight this battle however many times you're going to win each time now, because inshallah, because you figured something out. So, I don't know what's going on. There's like a lot of noise outside. Anyway, I think it's important to note just how distracted your life keeps you from realizing these deep core issues and the battles that you fight over and over again, just with different people, but it's the same battle. I think it says a lot that life constantly tries to get in the way of you figuring this out. Like, it's like if you're given enough time to contemplate, you'll figure too much out, and then you won't be useful to anyone who wants to take advantage of you. And if you're like, I'm a Scorpio, nobody takes advantage of me. Yeah, people take advantage of you all the time. Actually, the kind of people that take advantage of you are like way worse than normal charlatans or shysters. They're way, way worse. They have to be to get past your defense system. But also they realize something about you that most people think is a strength, but people who will manipulate you understand as a weakness, which is that you think you're smarter than them. You think you're smarter than anyone who would try to hurt you. And that, just that in and of itself makes them a lot smarter than you. So you're figuring all these things out. You're figuring all these different ways out that you've been fighting the same battles over and over again. And you are really just adding to that healthy ego because you keep winning these fights. And every time you come out a winner again, you're like, yep, figured it out. Those cheat codes are working and I'm going to keep working them. And I'm not getting sucked into, you know, and there have been many attempts to suck you back into some sort of really destructive dynamic. Something's just not good for you, was never good for you. Whether it's a Sag who wants you back, or a Gemini who won't leave you alone, or a Libra who's still full of shit. Like, you don't have time for this. I wouldn't be surprised if you healthily keep feeding your ego and keep winning these battles, that you actually are happy enough on your own to bump into somebody healthy for you. Good for you. You know? It's just these cards keep like same old story, same old story. It's the same old story. It's the same old story. Everybody's got the same old story. Why are you such a villain? Why, Scorpio, will you not let me use you? Why do you keep insisting to be treated with respect? Why do you keep insisting on having boundaries and standards? What's wrong with you? Why won't you let me mistreat you? Why won't you let me use you? Why won't you let me be more important than you? Look at me, listen to me. I am in pain. I have moods. I am doing that. And you're just like, I don't care. I can't care about this. Whatever's happened in your life that shifted your focus so heavily and your priorities so deeply, I'm happy for it. Even if it's been destructive, I'm happy for it because it finally shook you out of that stage, you know, where you're just fucking doing things because other people want you to. And it doesn't matter how many times you tell a Scorpio, like, don't do it just because somebody wants you to. They're like, yeah. And then they go and do it. Or they'll say some shit that makes me feel guilty, like, I'm not like you. I can't. Yes, you are like me. Yes, you are like me. Yes, you are like me. Because aren't we all the same when we think we're getting played? It's just that your ego keeps you from thinking you're getting played. When someone's using you, you have this weird way of excusing it where you'll be like, or if someone's playing in your face, someone's disrespecting you, whatever it is, your ego can be so big that you have a way of being like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Okay, but what if you knew they were playing in your face? Then what? Then how would you behave? Then how would you react? Then it would be towers for them, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be towers for them? Fuck it. Then that's towers for them. And if this is just like naturally your priorities shifted because you got married, you had a baby, you got your degree, whatever you did, and now the same people, the same things, the same dynamics aren't important to you, you don't even pick up on them, and somebody's not happy about that, well, all I have to say about that is, isn't that revealing? Aren't we just telling on ourselves? You want to know what that love is really about? You want to know who really loves you, Scorpio? Focus on that shit that you really love, that you really want to do, and see who sticks around even though you're not feeding them constantly and keeping them sustained. See who will stick around when you pour this love back into yourself and they don't get any. See who can show up for you while you're on this grind, whether this grind is your family, your business, your idea, whatever it is. See what happens when you devote wholly to your grind. See who sticks around. See who comes around and pours back into you even though they're not actively getting to leech off of you. And see who comes around asking for more. Some people still haven't gotten it. I don't know how they haven't gotten it yet, but some people will still pull you back into the same wars over and over again, and you're just not going to get, you're not going to get sucked into it. And you know what? There's lots of like tricks here. There's lots of gossip. There's lots of stuff being done, psychological warfare to get you to buckle to whatever it is by making you feel bad. You know, if people know, oh, people are talking, oh, you know what I heard about you. It's all, the source of all of this chatter is, I needed that Scorpio to baby me and I didn't get what I wanted. Boom. Earzos. I wanted that Scorpio to baby me. I wanted that Scorpio to pay for everything. I wanted that Scorpio to legitimize and baby my every mood. I wanted that Scorpio to handle all the responsibilities. I wanted that Scorpio to apologize for the both of us. I wanted that Scorpio to accept apologies I wasn't even ready to make. I wanted that Scorpio to drop everything that they're doing, even though their shit is fire and they are on the come up, to deal with me who is doing nothing, going nowhere, and then hold it against them and call them disloyal when they couldn't sacrifice themselves for me. But why, Scorpio? Why now do you finally wake up to this and say, I don't think I can do this self-sacrificing shit anymore? Why is it now? I have a theory. I think it's because Pluto is in Aquarius, but it's going back to Capricorn. It goes back to Capricorn and then it will move into Aquarius for a long time. The revisit to know what dynamics can never happen again, the need to experience those dynamics in a way where you are a winner, so every time they happen from now on you are a winner, therefore taking the sting out of it, taking the trauma out of it, that has to happen now. Those old issues, those old relationships, those old battles, they need to be fought and won decisively to set a precedent for the new time that's coming. Your relationships need to understand, the nature of your relationships with people needs to change in a way where the people around you understand that your energy, your time, your voice, your thoughts, they're all currencies. And the more you use those currencies on yourself, the more you thrive. So you know that they're very, very valuable. But not only have you been giving that currency away to people, but the most hellish part about it is that you've been giving that currency away to people who then turn around and act like you've done absolutely fucking nothing. How can you give someone fucking gold, and instead of just waiting for you to lay another egg, they want to kill the goose laying the golden eggs? I don't understand, but some people are into that. I don't know. It feels weird to put such a high price on yourself, but honestly, doesn't it feel fucking crazy not to? And look how villainized you get for it. just never liked it. I think that's why Scorpio is like just so fucking cool. Like I've just never liked it. I've never liked the idea of people getting an attitude with you because you're so dope that you want to spend your energy on yourself to be more dope, and they're hating because you're not giving them that dope energy so they could like ride your coattails. The fact that people get pissed at you for not being able to ride your coattails is insane. The audacity of openly, like, Scorpios are the only people I know that people are openly like, can I ride your coattails? And they're like, yeah, sure, I don't even care, I'm so cool. But like, what? The quiet part out loud all over the place, and Scorpio doesn't even give a fuck. Like, you can't do this on your own, can you? Yeah, sure, come along. You know, what? People, they don't even try. They're not even trying to be like, I'm competing with, they're like, I'm just gonna write off this, okay? I'm in your wake, okay? No, what you're doing is dragging. It's a drag on the air, man. You're slowing me down. And that's also, there's a ruthlessness to that you're uncomfortable with. Well, it's okay to be slow as long as you can bring everybody with you. These people are not with you. Let's look at these cards, huh? We're gonna do a preview, and then there's gonna be an extended video that's like half an hour, and that will be on Patreon, Vimeo. That Patreon link, you can buy that as a single purchase or get the subscription, whatever's allowed in your country, whatever you want to do. Vimeo as well. PayPal link goes straight to your email, link to the video. I would suggest you buy or subscribe on Patreon from the website, like the link below, instead of like going on an app. Yeah, and there is a link for personal readings. They look like this, and they're recorded, and they're about 10-12 minutes long. That link is below as well. I love you. I missed you. Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your extended. I think you guys are the only ones that are going to get a face-to-face read for September, because I'm gearing up for the October Halloween videos, and Virgo season is pretty no nonsense. So instead of starting with the cards that we had for the general, we're going right into late September. I know it's the preview, but we're shuffling through now for Venus being in Libra. At the end of the month in September, Venus will move into your sign. But before it does, Venus will square Pluto right before it moves into your sign. Now, we've been working up to this moment. You have been working up to this moment for most of the summer. You want some clarification. You want to know where things really stand. You're done with the confusion, and this set of transits doesn't disappoint. By the time Venus is done with Libra and moves into Scorpio, you know everything you need to know. Unfortunately, for many of you, this will mean that you realize that there is someone else in your significant other's life or in their in the tenderest part of their heart, let's say. The Three of Cups is someone who does not put you first. It's actually someone who is putting everything but you first. Their joy, their addictions, their dalliances, everything is more important to them than the amount of love and care that you are pouring into them. So the end of September, after Venus has been in Libra and squared Pluto, that end of September brings such a painful clarity, but it also allows you to finally move forward and let go of the idea of something, not even the thing itself, but the idea that you were holding on to so tight. And I think that perhaps you justified holding on. You justified it with not having clarity. And so as long as there was no clarity, it was okay, because you're just holding on to make sure, you know. But Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, they're pushing love away from you right now. You don't want that as much as you want the truth. Your experiences, they've all amalgamated into a lesson, a truth that you want to look at, and you don't want to be distracted from it. You want to feel really good about yourself, and you know that whatever these truths are that come to you, no matter how painful they are, it's the only way for you to be free and move forward. For some of you, this is preoccupation about a past relationship that just, you have to stop thinking about it. You have to stop letting it be so central in your secret thought process. You know, just because someone doesn't, and no one knows that you're fixating, especially on something from the past that didn't work, that you need to solve. It's become a problem that you need to solve. It's become something you're obsessive about. If that's the case, if that past is what is haunting you and you just can't figure out where you fucked up, around the 22nd, 23rd, you have your answers. And they're definitive. And there is relief and freedom that comes from that. But this freedom, Scorpio, it's not just for you. It has to also be for others. And there, we'll stop the preview and we'll go on with our extended, okay? Love you guys.